One of our latest arrivals is another ScotRail Bachman 170. Now this one has been resprayed and modified slightly. You can just see inside. There's even some passengers. Now this has running lights and additional details like the door lights. It's been a little bit of work, so we'll have a go at this one at some point in the next few weeks. See if we can get her up and running at her finest glory. It's obviously a 3-car set. We'll see how she looks compared to some of the other ones we've got. I don't really need 4, which is what we've got now. So depending how she runs, depending how well she goes, we'll see whether we actually need her at all or whether one of the other 170s. I do have one that's not chipped yet, so there's a high chance that we might keep this one. It does have sound as well that we need to go and have a go at. Get her on the DCC test track, the rolling road, and see how she reacts. But yeah, lovely little extra wee number here at Townhill Junction, and shows that you can do some modifications to these ones. A little bit of weathering, which is quite nice. And we'll see if we can get this running and see if she's a great addition to the fleet. If you're looking for a ScotRail 170, one that isn't DCC chipped, then get in touch. Who knows? Might still have it by the time you message. Because we need to get rid of one to pay for this one. I do like these. Do like these. They are comfy. Not 158 comfy, but they are comfy. They're starting to get phased out across Scotland. At least that's the plan over the next 5-10 years. New trains, replacing them. Battery and electric powered as the lines start to get electrified. So these will become some of the last diesels that we see running passenger services for ScotRail in Scotland. So here at Townhill Junction, we have managed to do 3 sides. Now, the reason we've not done 4 is this is one of our big entrance ways into the loft, and it will restrict access a little bit. So we're going to leave that. However, as we come around here, you can see an idea of what we're going for. You can see we've got a double tier, 3 sides done now in terms of kind of this first structural supports. The idea is to have our kind of main running lines up here, then dropping down, you can just see down the back to the fiddle yard, just to give it a bit more of a run. A fair bit of height difference between the two. You can see here we've got a couple of tracks, and trying to balance how much scenery we do against how much track we do. That's the real ask for now. You can see since February we've also got this bottom tier in, and the idea here is to have a couple tracks for our fiddle yard. And again, if you see, it's a fairly decent board. It's about 600mm across. You get an idea. We can probably get quite a few lanes in here. Sorry about the camera not focusing. Of actual fiddle yard to kind of store some trains. The hope is to have this wired up and have the ability to click the switch and turn these whole fiddle yard lanes off, so the trains aren't working container tile. You can see the supports at the back here, which we'll see better on the other side, as we've not got it. So as we come around the back, there's still a bit of chance. We need to have a look at what we're going to do in terms of supports between the beams. You can see it's relatively strong, but needs something. So we're going to try and balance that out. And as we come around the back side, again, you get an idea of those 2 different levels. Our scenic level up here with some pictures from the Missy Scoop that we've nicked back. I say nicked back, we've nicked. And then the lower level here, just above where the sockets are. And then we'll run around this side. So effectively at the other end we'll have something very similar to this. It's okay. We need to see with strength whether we need some extra supports to do that. You can see it's all pre-drilled holes so we can run cables through, which will hopefully keep them fairly neat and out of the way. So what we've been doing on this side gives you a better idea. You can see it's having to run along. We're going to have to make a feature out the pipes. But roughly speaking, we've got the kind of, where you see the 5s, that's the top level. And then we've got 3 for the fiddle yard. And then we've got 3 for that ramp on the outside, that incline. Now, the off-site incline can be slightly steeper. It's not going to be on. But we then need to decide whether we're having 2 levels on the upper deck. So we could have it coming round, coming up on a kind of raised station here. So effectively kind of raising having the station up about that sort of height, just enough room for a train to pass underneath it. And then that kind of outer loop dropping back down round this side before it goes down, either spins on the outside, which would give me more room for the hatch, or comes right the way around and goes down the other. As this camera kind of focuses a wee bit slowly, and you can see all the mess on this side, you do get a kind of an idea of what we're trying to do. We've still got a couple of spare bits of Celotex to do the hills, which will hopefully help. But you can see here, this is the outer bit. So the aim is that each of these beams will be at a slightly different height to build up at hopefully as near to 2% as I can get it. I don't want to be too much more than that. 3 a push maybe on a long straight, but not near the curves. And you can see at the end, you can see that top tier extends out over the top and lines you up with this side. So fairly happy with the progress. Still not got any running, but you'll have seen hopefully early in the video some of the new arrivals. Once we've got this up and we can start laying some more of this plywood, we can then kind of have some proper baseboards to start putting track on. I've got these end pieces here which are going to run along these edges. They just meet the edge here, you can just see it, and we'll add a bit of wood along, and it gives me a bit of expansion room. So if I want to add extra scenery in this gap between here and here to kind of hide these beams, to kind of build that inside a building, I can do so, but it's not going to affect the main running lines which are over there and need obviously the additional structural support. This can be cheaper, something simple, even just cardboard or big bits of card. But that's the progress here at Townhill Junction. I hope you've enjoyed this layout update. We're getting there. 3 sides, kind of big stuff done. It's just too hot this time of year. It's the middle of summer, and even in Scotland, thanks to global warming, it is absolutely roasting. So if you've got any tips as I go through from this phase to the next, please give me them. We're watching other people's videos all the time for tips and things to learn. The pre-drilled holes were definitely one of them, and hopefully we'll get it right and we'll be able to get something running. So if you've got experience of inclines, experience of wiring up, experience of setting the track, any things, do's and don'ts that I should never have thought of, or things that I need to kind of get on with now, please let me know, and we'll see you hopefully sooner rather than later here at Townhill Junction. before I go, I just wanted to quickly show you roughly what it's going to look like. We've got some of these plywood already cut, so you get an idea of what it's going to look like. There's a fairly good amount of space here. It's not going to be the smallest railway in the world, but it's also nowhere near one of the biggest. But you get an idea. Here we're hoping to, we are having kind of inclines on this side. They'll run up there, behind those pipes. We could also turn them into kind of a bit of a kind of waterfall or something across there. A bit of a bridge, maybe quite nice in that space, using them as kind of the cliffs. Don't know. I just thought I'd quickly show you what it looks like roughly with some of the boards in place. You get kind of an idea of a bit better actually of the amount of space we're going to have at Townhill Junction. I am also at the stage of looking at any rail and trying to work out how we're going to run the tracks. If that's something you love doing and want to get involved, please. I've never really used it much before, so I'd love all your help and your advice. If there's things that you think a kind of Scottish based railway should have, let me know, and I'll get them included in the track plan. And also, if you've got inclines, you know, are we going to loop it around that side, come all the way down, or should we be looping it around this side as well when we do this final piece? That'd be really useful. So thank you very much for watching again, and we'll see you next time on Townhill Junction.